Now, New Year draws near, and the night passes. Day comes driving the dark, as ordained by God. But wild weathers of the world awake in the land. Clouds cast keenly the cold upon the earth with bitter breath from the north, biting the naked. Snow comes shivering sharp to shrivel the wild things. The whistling wind whirls from the heights and drives every dale full of drifts very deep. Long the night listens as he lies in his bed. Though he lays down his eyelids, very little he sleeps. At the crow of every cock he recalls well his tryst. Briskly he rose from his bed ere the break of day, for there was light from the lamp that illumined his chamber. He called to his chamberlain, who quickly him answered, and he bade him bring his byrnie and his beast saddle. The man got him up, and his gear fetched him, and garbed then Sir Gawain in great array. First he clad him in his clothes to keep out the cold, and after that in his harshness, that with heed had been tended, both his pauncer and his plates polished all brightly, the rings rid of the rust on his rich byrnie. All was neat as if new, and the knight him thanked with delight. He put on every piece, all burnished well and bright, most gallant from here to Greece, for his courser called the knight. While the proudest of his apparel he put on himself, his coat armor with the cognizance of the clear symbol upon velvet environed with virtuous gems, all bound and braided about it with broidered seams and with fine furs lined wondrous fairly within. Yet he overlooked not the lace that the lady had given him, that Gawain forgot not of his own good thinking. When he had belted his brand upon his buxom haunches, he twined the love token twice then about him, and swiftly he swathed it sweetly about his waist. That girdle of green silk, and gallant it looked upon the royal red cloth that was rich to behold. But he wore not for worth nor for wealth this girdle, nor for pride in the pendants, though polished they were, not through though the glittering gold there gleamed at the ends, but so that himself he might save when suffer he must abide bane without debating it, with blade or with brand of war. When arrayed, the knight so bold came out before the door. To all that high household great thanks he gave once more. Now Gringolet was groomed, the great horse and high, who had been lodged to his liking and loyally tended. Fain to gallop was that gallant horse for his good fettle. His master to him come and marked well his coat, and said, Now solemnly myself I swear on my truth, there is a company in this castle that is careful of honor. Their lord that them leads, may his lot be joyful. Their beloved lady in life may delight befall her, if they out of charity thus cherish a guest, upholding their house in honor. May he them reward that upholds heaven on high, and all of you too. And if life a little longer I might lead upon earth, I would give you some garden gladly, were I able. Then he steps in the stirrup and strides on his horse. His shield his man showed him, and on his shoulder he slung it. Gringolet he goaded with his gilded heels, and he plunged forth on the pavement, and prancing no more stood there. Ready now was his squire to ride, that his helm and lance would here bear. Christ keep this castle, he cried, and wished it fortune fair. The bridge was brought down, the broad gates then unbarred, and swung back upon hinges. The brave man blessed himself, and the boards crossing, bade the porter rise up, who before the prince kneeling, gave him good day, Sir Gawain, Gawain, and God save you. And there he went on his way with the one man, only to guide him as he goes to that grievous place where he is due to endure the dolorous blow. They go by banks and by braes where branches are bare. They climb along cliffs where clingeth the cold. The heavens are lifted high, but under them evilly mist hangs moist on the moor, melts on the mountain. Every hill has a hat, a mist mantle huge. Brooks break and boil on braes all about, bright bubbling on their banks where they bustle downward. Very wild though the wood is the way they must take, until soon comes the season when the sun rises. That day on a high hill they abode, white snow beside them lay. The man that by him rode there bade his master stay. For so far have I taken you, sir, at this time, and now you are near to that noted place that you have inquired and questioned so curiously after. But I will announce now the truth. Since you are known to me, and you are a lord of this life that I greatly love greatly, if you would follow my advice, you would fare better. The place that you pass to, men perilous hold it. The worst wight in the world in that waste dwelleth. For he is stout and stern, and to strike he delights, and he mightier than any man upon middle earth is. And his body is bigger than the 4 best men that are in Arthur's house, either Hester or others. All goes as he chooses at the Green Chapel. No one passes by that place so proud in his arms that he hews not to death by dint of his hand. For he is a man monstrous, and mercy he knows not. For be it a churl or a chaplain that by the chapel rideth, a monk or a mass priest or any man besides, he would as soon have him slain as himself go alive. And so I say to you, as sure as you sit in your saddle, if you come there, you'll be killed. If the carle has his way, trust me, that is true. Though you had 20 lives to yield, he here has dwelt now long and stirred much strife on field. Against his strokes so strong, yourself you cannot shield. And so, good Sir Gawain, now go another way, and let the man alone, for the love of God, sir. Come to some other country, and there may Christ keep you, and I shall haste me home again. And on my honor I promise that I will swear by God and all his gracious saints, so help me God, and the Halidom, and other oaths aplenty, that I will safe keep your secret, and not say a word that ever you fain were to flee for any foe that I knew of. Gramercy, quoth Gawain, and regretfully answered, Well, man, I wish thee, who wishest my good, and keep safe my secret, I am certain thou wouldst. But however heedfully thou hid it, if I here departed, fain in fear now to flee, in the fashion thou speakest, I should a knight coward be, I could not be excused. Nay, I'll fare to the chapel, whatever chance may befall, and have such words with that wild man as my wish is to say, come fair or come foul, as fate will allot me there. He may be fearsome, a fearsome knave to tame, and club may bear, but his servants true to save, the Lord can well prepare.